Hey guys, welcome back. This is Nightwolf53 back here again with another what if. Sorry how inconsistent I am with what ifs, but let us get back into the what if that I left off from 2 weeks ago. Yes, Cerberus is a bit tricky at times, but he will need her. And I guess as a parting gift, that is his gift. But that will be after the ceremony with the blood vial. Or the grail in this case. Before the rest of the gods gave blood, it was only a vial of it, since the Egyptians were the first. Each one gave blood, and soon it became a grail to hold it. Norse and Greek. I would say Roman, but the Romans just changed our names here and there to planets that are so far away from our own. But after a while, and the giants passing, Persephone's, I think it is time we let Izuku finally drink what is needed from the grail. Alright, my dear, let us take him. Hades and Persephone walk out of their chambers, going to where Izuku and their hellhound Cerberus is. Cerberus, please transform back into your normal form. Back into the dog that we love. Oh, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. As they come together and became the big giant hellhound. Izuku, I think it is time. From what we have found out from Zeus 2 weeks ago, that the end is coming near for us. Soon you and others will have to live on. You'll be the last remnant of a god-filled world. I thank you, my boy. Let us go to the grail that's been waiting for you. Huh? Okay. Let's go. As they walk to the grail filled with blood, Hades and Persephone poke their fingers to drop in one of their essence as well. Izuku, drop a single bit of blood into here and drink. Alright. As he picks his finger and a drop of his blood goes in, all the blood illuminates with colors from each god, all from rainbow and beyond, from the eye can even more than what the eye could see. It all fills into this wonderful, wonderful, just colors, a vast lake of immortality, as you would say. As the immortal he is, he took it up to good clean health, right, Hades? Indeed. Now drink, strong one. I must hide you and Cerberus away while Ragnarok goes on. What, Cerberus? Isn't she supposed to be in the fight? Yes, she is. But she is the gift to you, a companion on your journey. You do not know how long your journey will be, but in place, as he held out his hand, he created another Cerberus from his own power. She will be on our side and go through Ragnarok, while the real one will be with you. Alright then. As he drank from the grail, which started to give him a kind of psych-like mushroom effect, he was really out of it. Whoa, what's going on? It seems it's having a psychological effect on you. You can rest for a little bit, but after that I need to put you into a special box. Once Ragnarok is over, you shall appear. Give me a sec. Alright, I'm back. But yes, you'll rest here for a few days. As Hades went ahead and moved Izuku back into his own room. Stay in here with Cerberus, and Cerberus, keep watch of him. As they all go back into their normal kind of human form. Yes, sir. Keep him safe, girls. I will be back in 2 days. On the 3rd day, Ragnarok will start. Alright. 2 days pass. Izuku has finally gotten over the, drug-like effect from the drink. As Izuku is talking to Cerberus, Hades and Persephone's come in. Alright, my dears. Please follow Hades to the chamber where you'll be held. Yes, ma'am. And Cerberus, please stay in dog form as this is going on. Or human form, I bet. We don't want anyone knowing that you are not in Ragnarok for real. Then it can mess up its prophecy. Yes, ma'am. As they go into a box. Wait, isn't this? Yes. This is the box for Mist. This is Pandora's box. We have filled it with the supplies you need. I know it looks different, but due to all the crazy creatures that have come out of it, and the battles that will be going on during Ragnarok, all the evil will be killed, and you will be in this box to give us hope. A hope for the new God that will live among us, live among the humans. So please, keep Cerberus safe. And Cerberus, keep Izuku in line. He's gonna need that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Don't call me ma'am. I did that once. Sorry. Alright, get in. Ragnarok starts in an hour. Alright. As all 4 get in, and Hades shuts the box. Alright, my dear. I guess this is our final dance. It's been so long since we've danced. Was it our first honeymoon? I think it was. Zeus and Hera were upset that Zeus went ahead and went off with some other woman, and not her. Yes, that is your brother after all. I know. But let us have this dance before it all goes. As they dance in their mighty halls of hell, the souls being driven down into the depths, Ragnarok started. Blast and fire started to go around the world. People were being killed left and right. Monsters were being awoken from the deepest hells of the sea. Krakens, megalodons, that were unruly and made of elements of fire and lava. Things that should not have ever been there, but now are. Zeus and Thor fought off Jormungandr. Fenrir ate Odin. Ares and Athena were killed off in battle by the already killed, how do you say it? Well, not Melissa, Medusa. Give me a sec. My bad, my friend brought me watermelon. But yes, as all this is going down, Izuku and Cerberus huddled in Pandora's box, which has been long forgotten, ever since the demonic beings were released. As Ragnarok went on, Cerberus fought, I don't remember who, I think it was Thor or something? I forgot what, no, it was Fenrir that fought Thor, but Cerberus fought, I guess Athena and, not Persephone's, but Hera. In the battle, they saw that Cerberus was a bit weaker than before, and tried to combine the strength, but the end was the same. as Hades gave her her last strength, as all three died in battle. As Hades fought against one of the broken gods with Zeus, all the gods came together to fight this one being of mass destruction, as others fell around them. The broken god which was once vanished, a titan that was defeated once before. All their powers combined and fought the god. It ended bloody, but no one survived the fight. All the monsters of yesteryears destroyed, as all the gods were killed off in this battle as well. Not a single one survived. The only things ever left were the golden grail, which was with Izuku. Something from the old past. There were still relics which were given to the young sir before his passing inside of Pandora's box. Excalibur, one of the mighty weapons forged from one of the gods. It was given to him from the one above theirs, but that god has passed long ago. He called himself the Big G, and that's what the other gods called him, the Big G, the god above them all, that was created from the Big Bang itself. But from the Big Bang, there was three gods that actually came from it. The Big G, which would create galaxies within another god, the infinite universe. As the Big G, as in Christian God, created Excalibur, which the Big G died off long times ago when the broken god first came around. The other god, which was Death, still stayed, since no one could get rid of him. They did kill him, yes, but his everlasting effect was still around. He put a curse onto the world, onto the universe, that everything would die at one at a time, which did happen. As the universe still lived, it was still broken in shambles. Once again, other weapons were stored with him. Mjolnir, made for Thor by dwarves. It was a replica given from the dwarves, and a present from Thor, since he wanted his cousin to have something of his, and something to try out, since he loved his hammer so much. Odin gave him wisdom that he could travel and transform into others to help in battle. So he would go around and see what others think, just like his cousin Odin. Loki was just like Odin, just a bit more of a trickster. He knew, but what he learned from Loki of trickery, he learned better as well from Odin to mix the two. He must be wise but trick. He can trick people, but he must be good. It must not harm. He played by these rules during his time, but didn't know if they were ever needed again. Another weapon was Athena's bow. It was a powerful bow which, once shot, could destroy the tip of a mountain, crushing it to rubble. And the last item, which was given to him from his adoptive father, Hades. And it was a special gift indeed. It was a scythe perfectly made from the bones of the god of death. This one scythe, he said, must not be used unless absolutely necessary. Unless we are not around, this weapon should not be unleashed. Please do not use this, he said to Izuku. Izuku would wish never to pull out the scythe, but once he will again, but once it will be coming out. He did not know when, but he had a lot to do. Time skip 5,000 years. Once humanity has finally come back, he thought the gods would as well. He hoped, he prayed, but it was only a fantasy. He looked around and saw the Egyptians and Greeks and Romans, the Northern and all the Christians. But once he looked in the sky and looked for the gods, there was no one there. The only person that still lived was the universe, someone he could not even talk to. Everyone died during that big battle. It was only him and Cerberus. As Izuku now walks through the Greek palace, or the Greek area now, he sees that a lot of people are looking at him, seeing that his clothes are old and tattered, but Greek in style, as a man comes up to him. "Young sir, may I ask why you have such tattered clothes and these 3 fine maidens with you?" "Oh, well, the name is Izuku. It is very nice to meet you." "Oh, okay then. Such a weird name, but letting it slide for now. Now how about I say this? I would like to buy one of these women off of you." "They are not for sale. They are a purposely gift from someone to me." "Oh, a gift. Well, as a hierarch, I demand you give me them." It's still a no. "I said give them to me now," as he raised his hand to hit Izuku. As Izuku screamed out, "Enough!" the ground shook, almost like the gods were angry. As a volcano erupted and clouds thundered over, Izuku looked at them, eyes glowing with electricity, and if you looked deeper into his irises, you saw the souls of the damned being sucked in. Everyone backed away from him. Everyone started whispering, "He's a god, he's a god." "Which one, though?" Everyone started whispering about this god. He named himself Izuku, and these 3 fine ladies. Once Izuku got angry, the 3 girls transformed into Cerberus, the Hellhound. Everyone knew about Cerberus, but this new god that they have never heard about, that seemed so much powerful than any of the others. He was worshipped in temples. He was given the name Izuku, god of all, almost making him like an immortal being. They worshipped him and hoped for clouds and rain and other things here and there. Izuku didn't really think anything of it. He got mad once, but he thanked the humans still needed their own stuff to do. He would give rain when needed, when the crops were drying out. He'd get tons of it whenever they prayed to him. He didn't want to become one of those very obnoxious gods like Zeus. He didn't want to be prayed for what power he had. He wanted to be prayed for the work he did for them. So he would disguise himself every once in a while to help these people in the fields that they grew, to help them plow more and get more work done. They would thank the stranger, and then he would transform back into Izuku and thank them for the nice work he was able to bring them, and go off again into the clouds. There would be rumors about the god that would help, saying that he would transform into a stranger that was out of town, and if you agreed that he could help you, he would help you so much that the workers would be almost delighted to have more breaks than any. It was almost wordless. He would leave you speechless almost. But soon the Greeks fell to the Romans, and the Romans prayed to this god they called the sun god. Everyone thought like, oh, it's Apollo, but then they didn't want him to be recognized as the sun, as Apollo did. So they gave him a better role, the system. Everyone asked what this god did. He's the one that controls the entire solar system. All these bodies of gods that live on these planets, he's the one above them all. He's the one that put them all together. As people talked around thinking that this was dumb, the god would show up and help out with people, noticing that these were Romans and not the Greeks he once helped. Even though he saw them go down, he was still fine to help them out. As time passed, more and more went on. Romans fell to the Christians, and Christians surged on with a lot more Hindus and Jewish all going around. Years passed. A colony from Great Britain revolted, creating this new country. As he went over, he helped out with a man named Mr. George, but he liked to call himself Mr. Washington instead. At one of these great treaties that they were signing with the king, Izuku came into the court wondering what was going on, what everyone was doing. They all saw him. Sir, may we ask who you are? Oh. As he thinks that they wouldn't know who he is. The name is Izuku. I would like to know what is happening here. We are going ahead and creating a treaty with Great Britain to make ourselves our own country. That sounds like a good idea. But over time, this new country will evolve. So put in plans that will help out this country. Sure. Let us agree with that. Is there any that you really think should be on there? I think out of everything, the first one's probably your best rule. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The freedom of speech. A very good rule where anyone can talk against anyone. And it doesn't matter. Bearing arms is always good to protect our home of what's we live. These are great, but some are just amazing to see how this country goes. I let you sign these and hope for the best for your country. As everyone thanks him for his gratitude, just not knowing why the stranger would say such words almost like he was a higher being. As Mr. Ben would come over and ask this question, Sir, may I ask why you sound like, well, the king almost? Well, it's because I've lived for quite a while now. And I would have to say that seeing a new country come out and find happiness in it will be a great thing to see. Since there was happiness always around, but every time there's happiness, there's always a war coming soon. I could take it back a bit more to whenever, if y'all remembered history a bit more, like Romans from our early history of Britain. Yes, them. We fought against them and won. Yes. Did you know that there were people before them? Before them? Do you mean before Christ? Yes. before Christ. As they all polish this, I just like seeing that more peace comes from every war, every revolution. If I may, could I sign to make this gratitude into this new country? Yes, you can. You'll be signing right next to my name. All right then. You shall sign first, Mr. George. Thank you. As George Washington signs down his name on the Constitution, Izuku signed at the very bottom of the list of names. I hope this friendship brings us fair greetings in our living wake. I hope so too, sir. More years passed. Next came the War of 1812. Izuku fought in this war, with Cerberus by his side. But after that, they didn't want women in their army. So Izuku begged Cerberus to stay home and kinda cook and clean while he worked out things with people. As he worked, he gave fake names like Jack, James, Nick, all different types of one. Through the Civil War, he fought on the Union side. He believed from the first Constitution that everyone was free. But it seems that Jefferson's first draft wasn't approved, which he was fine by. It was a country going through stages of life, and he knew the tragedies that would come from it. He knew that slavery wasn't a good thing, but he knew that people brought it over. He knew of the crimes that people did against their own. What happened in Africa wasn't pretty. Tribes selling out their own people and more going on. I'm going to pause for a second. Just to say that is actually true. You can look it up. They did sell their own people out, but history makes it look, in school, people just want to make it look like whites did it, but not always. We weren't always the one that did it. I just want to give us a clarification, but we are actually kind of dicks. But yes, as the years went on, presidents were killed, either by slow death of aging or as Abe did, which he met up with Abe once. He asked this tall man, this honest man, "So, Mr. Abe Lincoln, what do you believe in all this freedom for everyone?" "Yes, I do." "Why do you ask this question?" "I just want to know what direction this country will go in." "It is only a question, Mr. Abe. Call me Lincoln, Sonny. You look a bit young for your age." "Young, I wish, but I leave you on your way, Mr. Abraham Lincoln. And to you, too, may I ask for your name?" "Izuku. Izuku Midoriya." As Izuku went off, Abe would get back to the White House. Izuku Midoriya. I've heard that name once before. I've seen it as well. Where have I heard it? "Prime Minister." Yes, sir?" "Is there anyone named Izuku Midoriya?" From our readings that we do not know of. There was Izuku Midoriya." "When?" He was a green-haired fellow. He looked almost 18 or 20. And, he was there when, the Constitution was signed. Right here, sir. As the Constitution was shown to Abe Lincoln. Oh my. But wait. The Founding Fathers were... Does that mean... Sir, Confederate troops are coming up near Virginia. We need the reinforcements there. Alright, yes. Civil War. As the Civil War went on, Izuku fought in it with the fake name Alex. A few years later, during the conflict, he got killed and was quote-unquote buried. Once he was in his casket being put down in the ground, something called the man over that was burying him, and Izuku got out. He went ahead and changed his name to Nick, and then the war was over after a year before he could get back in. He still got back into the army and trained new recruits. He went through boot camp again, which was pretty easy, since before he had to fight gods. Literal. During the creation of this country, they went ahead and went through a World War I. During the end of the war, Izuku was sent out to help against Austria-Hungary and Germany. As this is going on, he does get killed again, changing his name to Mike. As he fought on the battlefield with his friends, though, mustard gas was used, and he saw the new inventions that they were bringing. There was these flying vehicles nowadays, tanks and armored ships, with guns that could destroy bunkers. He was being amazed more and more by how humanity has changed ever since Ragnarok, and he loved every second of it. But Cerberus was not kind to him. Once he got home, he was battered again by his quote-unquote 3 wives still. So dear, leaving us again for another war. How many times has this happened? I think it was only a couple, if I remember. A couple. You have fought for a nation. You have made a nation. You fought the nation divided and fought for the side that won. Then you went off and fought a world war. Not mentioning the other ones in the past. Well, those were no buts. You went off a long time. And we cannot demolish this. Now, once this war is over, you are going to help us. You are going to stay here, and you are going to rest. You have been giving humanity too much to offer, helping in creations that they have made, either by heavy lifting, which some may call out, but thinking that it was only a slip of the mind, which wasn't. Just stop giving us a headache. During the 1920s, Izuku was pampered and went to his job as Cerberus and her other 2 sisters, which were Izuku quote-unquote wives as well, went with him. They went to their own jobs. Izuku worked in the army still. He was dead once and went through boot camp and became not sergeant, but like near general. He was a E3. He was an E3. If y'all don't know, you can look it up in the military that an E3 is actually a really high rank. He was located in a campsite with a bunch of his men, doing tactical drills and stuff like that from the First World War that they went through. As he looked up with these men in a hope and gleam that they didn't see the conflict that he has gone through. It seems Hades' powers are giving me a sign already. It always has. Another war is coming. But first, a lot of death will come as well. And then the war will only bring more of it. Seems through this entire decade, this entire 100 years, or century, there will be a war throughout it all. More than I've seen. But it'll be big. It'll be violent. I bless the men across the world, hoping that they do not meet a fate worse than death. But sadly, due to his own powers, they will go on deaf ears. He did not use any of his powers for this. He only prayed for it, which didn't do anything. Sure, a blessing, yes, right now. The economy was amazing. But he didn't know what was what to come. The only thing he was going on was a bad feeling. If worse comes to worse, Cerberus will just get angry at me. As he chuckled and went back to work, training the new recruits that might come in, with a sergeant and major coming to do the work with the new recruits as well. As he sat back and listened to the band in the background. As that's all I'm gonna kind of say for today. Sorry for the inconsistency. Like, subscribe, dislike, I don't know, kind of how you feel today, really. But yeah, have a great day, and happy 4th of July, United States of America. Yeah, bye.